Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil. So today is another Dawn and Julia Create, and Dawn has sent me this lovely bunch of stuff and we are to make a small piece of art using this mixed media. So I don't know, I'm at 6s and 7s today. Right, so yeah, a small piece of art using this, and it has to contain a knife or a spoon. I was contemplating both, but actually I'm just wondering whether I might just do the spoon. I was sort of contemplating doing something like that, but the spoon's quite a nice shape on its own, so I'm thinking maybe I'll go with that. Now, I had planned on using my gel medium because it's a better adhesion and my glue gun at the same time, but my glue gun's clearly been stolen because it's not here anymore, and I don't have enough sockets for it either because my my electric, well not my extension cable's also been stolen, so I'm just going to try and go with as I am at the minute. Right, I'll wedge that on, and if I end up with difficulties, I've just put that there to sort of create a little bit of a base, and yeah, then we'll see what happens. We will see what actually takes place. So I'm probably going to be doing a lot of faffing at this stage because I'm not overly sure what I want to do. Let's get all of this out. Some gems and bits and bobs as well there. Decisions. Yeah, like that. Okay. What else do we have? I'm thinking that I might put that underneath it. So let's take that there and grab my... I'm presuming we don't have to use all the elements. I could be wrong. Let's have a see. Let's pop this down here because I'm just thinking that will add a nice bit of extra detail and texture, and then I will stick that back down with this. So I'm actually starting this early. It is now Monday night and this is due up on Saturday, and for me that is incredibly early. Normally I'm filming things last minute, but I'm sort of also aware that this is going to require drying time. Now I don't want to end up seeing this bit. This is sort of like my base for basically giving me something to stick it to, so I don't want to end up seeing that, so I need to sort of start thinking of the composition and how I'm going to cover that somewhat. Let's see if I've got the bigger... oh dear, there's been an accident. Oopsie. Right, we've got this one though. Don't know. Man, this is going to make interesting TV viewing. Me going, I don't know. Possibly. Decisions. Oh, let's just go for that. I think I'm just gonna... I think I'm in danger. I'm quite tired, and I think as a result I'm in danger of overthinking. So let's not, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, and if I do something I don't like, it can be undone. Let's just get on with it. Right. Oops. Do I want the knife? Do I want a knife? I don't know. What do we think? thinking that these sort of would create quite a fun texture, like a cross hatch or something. Like that. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to slap a bit on. Now this gel medium is called Slap On, and it's such a good name for it because you're literally just slapping it on. And it's getting quite delicate this now because there's lots of bits that need to dry and I keep piling more on, but that's okay. So for today my aim is just to get these bits stuck on, and then I'll probably let it dry and gesso over it. So we're to make this, and then we're to use our acrylic paints to decorate that. So we'll see what happens. Now it's looking okay, but to me it's now looking a bit too much of a sort of short fat cross shape, and that's not really overly working for me, so I need to think of how to mix that up a little bit. There we go. I do have these gorgeous little, oh yes, I'll stick that there. And then, as I said, covering a lot of this with gesso. This is what's great about mixed media though, that you can get a bunch of random stuff. You know, we've got a bright pink butterfly, we've got a black flower, and you know, all sorts of funny looking shapes, and it'll work. Oh, we've got this. Now that would have been better underneath something. Let's see if we can dismantle this a little bit. I'm just going to, should be able to, because it's not overly stuck. Right, I'm just going to move that to the side, and then I'm thinking that we could have maybe put some of this on. And I prefer it on a lower layer, so I'm just going to tear some of this because I don't want loads and I want it quite textured-y. Well, that's in threads now. I wonder, Dawn's good at this sort of stuff, so yeah, I'm thinking that hers is going to be amazing. Right, let me see. Yeah, she does. Did you see her bottle that she did? She did this fabulous bottle. So this is definitely very good at this malarkey. Right, that's not sort of, I don't want it that big either. I'll come back with that. Okay, that's going to add a bit of extra texture. Let's see, we have decisions. Put that back. Oh yeah, that looks better now. Already looks so much better. And even the composition looks better, just having that there just to sort of soften it up. Put a new globule of what do you call it? Yeah, that. Oh, maybe that would work. It's looking like a strange cross shape at the minute, and I'm not liking that. So I'm feeling I need to do something else with the composition to vary it a little bit. So that's why I'm sort of fiddling about with the knives now. Yeah, do you know what, I might even just do it, not even to show that it's a knife, but to just extend the substrate a little bit, just extend the working surface that we've got, so that I've got more room to layer stuff onto. So let's just put a load of that down. And then, as I said, I think it's just going to just extend our working area somewhat. Actually, what I could do is let's put a bit of this down it. We'll just use it for holding the lace. It's funny, I literally had no idea. It's not like I'd even sat and contemplated and had a rough idea in my head of at least a direction before I sat down. It was just like, oh, it'd probably be a good idea to get this started so that I'm not being a last minute Annie, as I always am. It's not very good being last minute Annie all the time, it just increases stress levels. Far better to be more organised. Let's see, can I tear this? That would be quite cool if I could. Let's see, just so it's not as... Nope. It's not one, it's possibly, but it's going to need to be encouraged. It's not going to do it on its own. So we'll just do it, but with scissors. And I am putting the blade away from myself, so do be careful if you're doing something like this. We don't want just up at A&E, that's not the best idea. Right. So yeah, it feels like such a short period of time since I was last filming my Dawn and Julia Crate, because of course we're fortnightly now instead of monthly, so you all seem to be quite delighted at that. I think I'm going to put some more of this down as well. As I said, just to soften things somewhat. Let's plonk that down there. Just get a load of gesso, shove that down, and then I'm thinking that we could, ooh, right, I'll sort that in a minute. I'm thinking that if we get a bit this side as well, that we can stick that onto here. Now my knife's not particularly looking like a knife, it's just I'm using it as a base to, as I said, extend my small piece of art just a little bit further. I'm very generous with the amount of gel medium that I'm putting on. Because I've got gel medium both sides, I'm trying not to put it down so that I don't stick it to the desk or something, which is inevitably going to happen. Right, let's just stick it on that because I can always peel it off later. Right, now we're needing quite a lot on here to make sure it sticks. It's definitely going to need to be overnight, or possibly, ooh, right. See, sometimes having no plan is good because you just go with the flow, and then other times it's maybe not the best idea because you end up destroying what you've just done. Right. Oops. Could she get herself in any more of the pickle? That is the question. What do we think? Can I actually make any more of a mess of this than I am currently doing? Oh, I feel so sticky. I am literally stuck to everything. I'm just going to attempt to wipe my hands on a cloth. Right, okay. And then maybe if we could try and have some of this down at the bottom end of this so that it's about there. Do we think? Oh my goodness, Julia, what a mess. Right. I think I am finding the most awkward. So if you want to know how to do this without getting yourself in a complete pickle, I suggest you go and watch Dawn, because Dawn will do this amazingly. I am making a complete pig's ear of it and making it look really, really difficult, but it's really not. You know, mixed media and this sort of building stuff up like this, it's not that difficult at all. I'm just making it look particularly difficult. Okay. do some more of this sort of cross-hatching thing that we've got going on. Could we do a bit more over here? Why not? Sorry, that's going to be reflecting a little bit, but I can't think of any other way of doing this without it sort of sticking to something that it shouldn't. I'm going to add some more of that, and we're going to need something else to build that up. Maybe use one of these cabochon things, because then it'll just become another feature in the background. I'm not actually going to use it so the domed bit is down. There we go. And then it's a nice flat surface for me to use to get some more cross-hatching on. Get that down. Cross-hatching with matchsticks. I quite like that. This is going to look so random right now. Random. There we go. And let's get a bit of glue on. I'm very excited. I went to Hobbycraft for the first time today. So things are beginning to open up a bit in Scotland now as well. The best thing now though is that the children don't have to socially distance, so we were able to, my daughter's been able to go around and give her friends a cuddle and give grandma a cuddle, and so that's nice. I did feel like a bit like Billy No Meats though, because I took her out to see my mum. We went as a surprise, she didn't know that we were coming, so we'd got flowers, and Kezia went to the door, and because she was allowed to hug her, and then I'm sort of stood getting a bit emotional further back in the garden, but I wasn't allowed to hug off anyone. I just had to stand there like little Billy No Mates. This is where a glue gun would have been useful, because we'd have got the sort of we've got the movement, like the gel medium is moving quite a bit. I'm going to take this part off of this, and I think I'll take that wee sticky bit off as well, because it's going to make it an even surface, and then we'll use gel medium instead. Oops. Oh, I don't know. I'll stick it down there. I was going to add it to that, but then I don't know, it didn't look soft enough. There we go. We've also got some words. Let's see what we got in here. What have we got in here? Oh, don't they all say love? Well, why not? Ooh. Oh, I like that coming out there. That's nice. Right. I'm trying to do this so it doesn't look too like there's too many lumps of the words, that love will stand out when it's all gessoed and whatnot. Oh, that's good. I like it. Now, it'd be quite nice if I could somehow quite like the butterfly over there somehow, but I'm not quite sure how we're going to get it there, unless it's just, oh yeah, I'll just have it not quite as far out, but just underneath there, so it's more of the background layer. Okay, I think, are we getting there? I'll try and lift this off the, Yep, okay. I think that's looking good, but we maybe needing. I feel like something needs to be sticking out over here as well. I've still got this. Oh, that's broken. Sorry, Dawn, I broke it. There we got this one though. That's not overly working for me either. Can we do more with, yeah, I'm going to turn this round because I'm sort of in danger of, you know, like twisting my arm into a funny shape just, or is it you should do it so that I'm comfortable. Right, I've still got this kind of, there's a frame underneath here. I can't quite show it to you now without tilting it all off, but I'm going to use, I've got all this on my hand, I'm going to use this now just to stick these matchsticks to you, and that's going to bring the length of this out this side a little bit as well. Okay, so we've got that now, and then I'm going to do my cross hatching thing going on again. Try and get plenty to stick on there. There we go. Oops. We're getting somewhere. We're beginning to make a bit of progress. Okay. And there, oops. Oh, my fingers are so sticky. Also excited today, I went to B&M Bargains and actually found some alcohol wash, which is pretty cool. I've not found any in ages. Let's see, can we get some more of this in somewhere? Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to sort of, once I've got that stuck down, I'm going to have to rearrange slightly just so that we have, there we go. There we go, okay. Let's see how many places I can just sort of tuck this now. Just to pull it all together so we've got that sort of, you know, continuous element. Maybe we should have a piece coming out behind here as well. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Can I bring it around the edge of the spoon? Have it chopped in little smaller bits and sort of curve it round the edge of the spoon. Yeah, that's quite nice. I've not used any of the mushrooms yet, but I'm not quite sure how whether that's gonna. I don't know if I want a mushroom. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I don't know if it works on this or not. Okay. Okay. Right. I've got some more of these big jammy things. Sorry, I just feel like I have no patter because I'm concentrating and trying. I'm just hoping it's not going to be too boring to watch. I am making a complete pig's ear of this, so if we have anything that's worth looking, you know, that looks remotely like anything at the end of this, I'll be quite impressed, because right now, I just feel like I'm losing the plot, to be honest. I don't know if I want that bit there, I'll take that back off. Yeah, and maybe this bit. After all that, I take that off. Well, you can change your mind. This is the thing. It's not set in stone. It's set in gel medium. It can be changed if you want to change it. Right. Building up some of these gemmy things. Don't know about that there. Let's look at some of these. These might look quite nice beside some of my matchstick cross stitching stuff that I've got going on. I kind of almost feel that I'm getting to the stage that maybe I should let it dry even before I add more bits on. But then at the same time I'm kind of thinking I also want to be at the stage where I've done all the gluing. I feel like I am going to be pulling glue off my hand for hours. I'm quite impressed. I'm leaning quite forward and my head isn't in the camera, so that is quite good. And I've had my roots done as well. I could be showing off my husband did my hair. Yeah, I didn't wait for my friend is my hairdresser, and although hairdressers are going back on the 15th, to be honest, she's so booked up, and then plus it's the school holidays that I was like, oh, that's fine. And she'd got me the hair dye anyway for my husband to do it, so he did it. He now thinks he's an expert hairdresser. I mean, he did an okay job, to be honest, but like it's just an all over colour. I've not got highlights or anything, but I don't have roots, so you know, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the fact that I don't have roots. And I don't have a sort of gone off, because I have like a plummy colour, which is great, but then if it's been too long before you've coloured it, it goes this sort of funny gingery colour. And then of course I had dark roots with grey flecks through them. It really wasn't the best look. So yeah, glad that the hair situation is somewhat sorted. Right, I'm actually thinking that I'm fairly happy, apart from the fact that I'm sticking to everything. That was so bizarre. The camera stopped recording and it came up with a message saying the camera has stopped recording because the camera is busy. I'm like, oh, excellent. Right, I think I was quite like one of these things down here as well, just for continuity, but not quite sure where I'm going to finish it. So I think I'm just going to maybe put that down here, like so, and I just don't know if I can, I want to attempt to lift it so that I can see it without the cellophane just to check the shape, but I have a feeling that's all going to fall apart, so I'm just going to leave that like that, and then let it dry, and I'll see when it's dry if there's anything I want tweaking, because things can be changed. And yeah, let it dry and then I'll come back and coat it all with gesso with you. Okay, so I have gessoed this. I did film gessoing it, but there was a real problem with my sound and it sounded horrendous. I'm hoping this part that I film will be okay. So this has had maybe 2 coats of gesso. I'm in an iron whether to go black and have it metallic or whether to go white and have it sort of soft and pretty. I was wanting to go soft and pretty, but I wasn't sure that some of the black elements would cover that well with the gesso, but they've covered fine. And I also reckon that Dawn would go black. So I've just got a mop-up sheet behind me here, and I'm just going to use that as a paint palette because I can't be bothered finding my paints, quite frankly. Now I've chosen, so we were allowed acrylics. So I've got some Pebeo and I've got a pale yellow there. I'm going to go for quite pale colours. This is an ivory. and I might build up the colour later. So at the minute I'm going to pop little bits on, and then I am just going to do, this is a bit darker. Put that. Yeah, and that one, some of these have got a slight pearlescent sheen, which is kind of what I'm looking for. So I am going to sort of let the paint do its own thing at the minute. I'm not going to think overly about it. I may add other colours. I have pulled out other colours. I've pulled out this teal and this green, but of course if I mix that in with the yellow and the pink at this moment in time, I will get mud, which I don't want to do. So right now I'm literally just going to put splodge, I'm not even going to think, I'm just going to put splodges of this about, and then I am going to spray it with water and see what happens, just so that we've got a sort of loose colour palette on it. Sometimes I like the sort of lack of control. The fact that, yeah, you can't control what happens when you start to put water and things on it, and I think sometimes the less contrived something looks, I just like seeing how it all runs together. And I'm going to brush that a little bit, just purely in that I don't want it to go lumpy. Yeah, I think it looks less contrived and more natural and fluid, which is why I quite like to do that. So I'm just going to let the paint sort of do its own thing for this stage. I'm just going to let that run about and see what happens. And then once I've got that as a base layer, that will give me something to work with. So I'm just going to add a bit more on there. Yeah, because I said I wanted it soft and pretty. As I said, I might end up I'm going to just bring that onto the rest of that because it's not quite got hit with the colours. Okay, so at the minute I'm just sort of going with the paint that's there and making sure that it's getting a bit of a coat. So although I sort of put the paint down on the areas, the fact I've sprayed it with water, it's gone where the water's wanted it to go a little bit. So that's going to be my first layer of colour. I'm just going to dry that with a more definite think about what I'm doing a bit more definitely. So I think I kind of want the bulk of it, and I'm almost dry brushing this, but not quite, because I'm going to do a final dry brushing with some gold paint, because normally I would get my gilding wax out, but obviously that wasn't on the list. So I'm not. So I'm going to be a little bit more specific. I got out that yellow, but I think I'm going to add a bit more of the ivory as well, because it just does give a bit of a multi-tonal look. So I'm going to, and I may come in with a bit of gesso again to lighten certain areas, we'll see. So I'm just now sort of working with the colour that's been laid down. As I said, it's given me a bit of a base, a bit of an idea. So I'm going to put some of the yellow, I think I'm going to have that as the main colour, and then I think I'm going to have some of the shadow areas in more of the pink. So I will bring out the pink in some of those shadow areas, and of course there will be bits where I sort of mix it a little bit, like that's got a little bit bright there, so we'll just add a little bit in, tone that down. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I may also just sort of do a little bit of dry brushing of the pink to bring it out from the shadow areas into the focal elements as well, but we'll see, we'll see. Kind of wanting a bit of a, I'm going to put a bit of pink there, that's a bit too, colour's just a bit too samey. So yeah, as I said, I might just dry brush a little bit with the pink, just to pick up a bit more. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm going with these two colour tones. I may bring in a third, we'll see. We will see as it progresses what I feel it needs. I think possibly the odd touch of teal here and there just might make it pop, but we'll need to wait for it to dry, because we would get complete mud if we put it in at this point, because of the colours that we've got down. We'd get a sort of brownishy colour, and I'm not really going for that. Right, to get into the nooks and crannies. So I'm just building it up really until I'm happy. That's the thing, if you're not happy with a bit, you can just sort of work at it till you are. As I said, I might come in with some gesso just to lighten some areas again, just so we've got that contrast between light and dark. But obviously with going for fairly pale colours, the contrast isn't going to be exactly the same as if you were putting a real black shadow area in there. We've not got anything as definite as that, so it's just using it as it is really. Playing with what we've got. Yeah, it's getting there I think. Something is forming anyway. Let's put it that way. And we're playing. And we're happy while we're playing. So I was so organised. I was doing this ahead of time. I'd actually got it all sort of gessoed the other day and I was like, that's great. And yeah. I'm going to be really on time with this, and then I had an issue with the sound which I kind of needed my husband to sort, so by the time I've waited for him to get round to fixing that, yeah, I'm not quite so on time now. Now I am filming Saturday morning and this is going up at 6 o'clock today, so still should be plenty of time to get it done, but not quite as in advance as I would have hoped. Never mind. That's all okay. So yeah, I'm just sort of fiddling. If an area is looking too pink, I'm putting a bit more of the yellow on it, and if an area is looking too yeah, yellow, I'm putting pink on it. Okay, so let's give that a little dry. I think I'm liking that so far. So we'll give that a little dry and then see what we're going to do. Okay, so I think we are needing to lighten areas. I'm going to go in with my finger though to give a stronger look, I think, a stronger white in certain areas. So that we can, yeah, it'll just, I think the contrast of light and shade is really what makes these sort of projects work. It's really weird because I've just heated that with heat gun, and these were glass beads under all. It doesn't look like it should be hot because of the paintwork. It all sort of like looks similar, but you're like, oh yeah, that bit feels really hot. It's because it's a glass bead under there. Okay, so going to see, that's already just made it pop and come to life. We're kind of getting the shapes. We're beginning to see the shapes a bit more, the different textures, because we're putting that light and shade on it. So I'm just trying to lighten different areas. See how we go with that, and I'm deliberately lightening areas, sort of going across at a diagonal as well, so design wise that it is working. I'm sort of not lightening everything on the whole project, but some elements of it, just to kind of make that pop. I'm tempted to put a tiny bit of teal, but I'm not sure where I would put that, so I'm just wondering whether I should just sort of stick to maybe putting a bit of gold on it. Okay, I'm going to maybe pop some more around the edge of the top part of the spoon here as well. Like so. That's the thing with these things, you just keep playing and playing till it looks right, and you'll go through stages of, oh, I love it, and then you'll do something to it and it's like, oh, I don't love it quite so much now, and then you just keep going again until you're like, oh yeah, I love it again. Right, so I've got in with my finger. Some of it's going to just need a little bit of extra with, like, I can't quite get my finger into that little nick just there. There's a few little bits I'm just going to have to sort of touch up, but I do feel sort of that having it done it with my finger, we've ended up with a a brighter result than if we'd been working with a brush. Yeah, same with the other butterfly, I just need to get that right into the body of the wing there. Okay, so I think I'm just going to, I'm so tempted to put a splash of teal in, but I just have a feeling that could just go badly wrong. And I'm fairly liking this at the minute. I'm thinking it's sort of needing finishing touches, but kind of liking where it's going at this moment in time. So I'm just sort of really emphasising certain bits in the white now, brightening that up even further. So I think that is sort of makes the colours pop quite a bit. Right, so I think I'm going to try dry brushing with gold and see how I feel, and then decide whether I want to sneak in a bit of I just don't know what I maybe could do. Hang on, let's just, maybe if I just was incredibly specific. I said, if you end up doing something you don't like, it doesn't matter, because you can just paint over it. So I'm wondering whether if I'm just very, very specific and put it on 3 areas on the project and actually paint it on, whether that will make a difference. Oops. Now, obviously I want 3 areas because that's what's going to draw the eye round the project. So I'm thinking that possibly let's put it on here, because obviously the wording is going to be a feature. It's nice to make the wording a feature. Anyway, obviously it doesn't have to be, but it's quite a obvious choice to go for a feature piece. So let's just paint that on. Like so. I kind of feel like I want to add something glittery, but it's very difficult because, as I said, I'm going within the remit I've been given. Don't want to end up on the naughty step again. That would never do. Okay, so we've got that part there, and then we could maybe make this bit here blue. Maybe that one there. So I've gone from, it's a bit like the blank canvas thing, I've gone from sort of putting paint on, but then spraying it with water, so it was very loose and just went where it wanted to go. And that, as I said, that almost took away the blank page, as it were. Sometimes we get this sort of feed of the blank page, and the best thing to do is just to get something down, because it gives you a starting point, it gives you a direction, somewhere to go. And so I've done that, and now we're adding extra details. I don't like that, so I will maybe deal with that with the gold paint in a bit. So instead I'm going to paint this flower. I was thinking that I needed an area at the top to be teal as well, but we'll see. Because I was thinking of the rule of 3s and then trying to bring the eye round. Maybe it's just that it's got a bit heavier than it needs to be. Maybe if I put some gold on, there'll be a sort of a hint of it there, but not looking quite as it does just now. So again, I'm just going to... Okay, now I've put the teal on. I'm going for it. I want to put some lime green on as well. Oh, and that's nice pearlised. It's a nice pearlised bit, so that's nice. Right, let's get some... I was just like, oh, now I've done that, I actually fancy putting other splashes of colour in places. So I'm going to paint this butterfly green. And I'm just going to pause the camera because it looks like I'm about to get... Well, that was an exciting delivery. That's the stamps for the August collection arrived, so I better get that posted off to the girls. Right, let me see now. Maybe this one. Trying to decide. Okay, let's put this down here. Okay, I'm sure Dawn won't mind if I pause for a little minute just to get her stamps in the post. I'm maybe just going to brush some down this bit here as well for the greenery, and because it's got that pearlescent part to it, I might actually just brush it on. Ooh, now I like it over the teal. That's nice, because we're still seeing the teal, but it's sort of tying those two elements together. I like that. Okay, let's go with that. This is so not how I intended it to be when I started, but you know, I'm actually just going to dry brush bits of it in various areas now because I'm liking the way it looks. I think it's the fact it's got that pearlescent sheen. I'm liking the contrast that's given. I'm just going to brush it in various places, and then yeah, go and sort my parcels out. Okay, so we're getting there. This is still a bit too stark, so I think what we're needing to do is just let that dry. Then I'm going to do some dry brushing with some gesso, I think, and then I am going to maybe do some of the gold. Might do some of the gold and the green actually. We could build it all up, see how it ends up. See how it ends up looking. Yeah, I've gone from wanting a touch of that green to now putting it everywhere. I think because it's got, as I said, it's got this sort of gorgeous pearlescent finish, which I'm liking the look of. Okay, we'll let that dry. So I've had a good few hours break in between, so I still should get this up on time though. Yeah, my stamps arrived for August, and a cheeky order that I put into Be Crafty yesterday's arrived as well, so I've got lots of lovely crafty goodness that I'm just itching to play with now. So yeah, I think it might be a long crafty day. So this is how it's looking so far. I am going to do now some dry brushing with gesso to see how it looks. I'm not sure that I need the gold now, with the fact that we've got the metallic look with that green, but we'll see. I still might add it, who knows. I'm just going to get a little bit of gesso. Okay, I think I still have a bit of colour on this brush. So I'm just going to knock it a little bit off. Oops, it's quite heavy. Right, so and now I am just holding my brush quite far back. I'm using a flat brush and I'm trying to get the flat part of the brush to hit my project, and I'm just sort of hitting the edges. I might kind of hit them a bit more thoroughly here because I didn't really like where that blue was going, so I'm just going to change my brush because although that one's washed, it still seems to have a slight hint of pink to it. Okay. I'm just going to pause the video a second. Husband and daughter are playing in the hallway, so yep, we're down to sort of real life filming now. You know, my family are in the background making a noise. It's going to happen at this moment in time, but I think we're all the same. You know, we all craft with our families around us and bits and pieces, so that's just going to be life at the minute until I have my studio built. But I'm going to maybe pop up a video. It'll either go up before this one or after this one. I'm just going to show you the stash that I'm trying to move for this lady, show you what my studio will be in the future. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm just knocking this back a little bit. I've decided that I'm kind of wanting to create a little bit of brightness up here again. So I'm just going to rub that on. I'm a bit heavier handed than what a dry brushing would be, and I've knocked this back quite a bit now actually, so I'm thinking a bit more than I'd intended, in all honesty, but it's fine. So I'm thinking that I am going to go back in with that green again and a little bit of gold, just for the sort of final touches of it. And this is the thing with a mixed media piece, it's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. I've not undone everything because that tint of green is coming through. And it's the more layers to it, and the fact that there's going to be different depths of colour throughout the project does make a difference when it comes to the end product. And I'm just going to keep fiddling till I am happy, but I'm pretty happy, to be honest. Right, let's just give this a waft. With my heat gun just to dry that, and then I'm going to take out some of this blue again and some of the green, and I'm going to grab some of the gold, and I'm just going to do lots of dry brushing with these colours and just build it up to its finish, I think. So I'm just going to put a bit more of this blue back on. And that's the thing, I did go a bit heavy-handed with my dry brushing there, in all honesty, but that's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world. We just go back in, put it back in, and it's going to add an extra element to it. That's fine. So I'll pop that back in. Okay, and then I'm just going to so I'm popping it on the ends of my brush, and then I'm just dabbing it off onto my little painty cloth, and now I am just going to just keep building this up. So I'm catching the elements. Now I've got a layer of green, a layer of gesso, and a layer of green, but it's all built up differently now, because where the white went on top of the green, and now the green's gone on top of that. That's given me a different shade of green to where we've just had the green and no gesso's hit. So it's given us that, you know, I talk about having different shades, you know, having a shadow, a mid-tone and a highlight, and so building up the layers this way has given me that as well. So it's still worth doing. It's not like we've undone it and ruined it. It's all there, and at the end of the day it's about enjoying the process, which I am liking it. Do you know, when I sat down with this stuff, I had absolutely no idea what on earth I was going to be doing with it, and it's built up into something that I actually am fairly pleased with, so that's all good. So again, just building this up. Like so. And I'm liking the green and the teal. It's funny because I was like so unsure if that was a direction I wanted to take it, because I was liking the pink. But I'm liking the pink now as that sort of undertone, and then we've got these other colours coming in. Right. Now I'm going to waft that again, let that dry, and then we will go in with the gold, just purely in that it is going to be merging a little bit, and so trying to merge it as best I can. And I'm going to go in with this gold. So this is the fact that I don't have my waxes that I normally finish off with, so I'm going to use this gold paint instead. But this is the whole thing. It's like sometimes we kind of, you know, we get bombarded with products all the time. I mean, I'm a big fan of crafty shopping programs. I have watched them forever, long before I was selling on them. I do like a bit of, you know, crafty selly telly. I'm on YouTube, I'm constantly on Facebook, watching Facebook Lives, you know, and we're bombarded with products all the time, and sometimes it might be like, oh, I feel like I need that, you know. I love waxes, and I have a few of them, and I'm fortunate enough to have them, but that doesn't mean that if you don't have the wax, oh, I like that, I like the fact that I like the gold edge on the spoon there, that is working for me. So yeah, if you don't have those particular products, that's absolutely okay. You just grab what you do have. Now, to be honest, I would quite like to just put a bit of stamped detail in there. But that's not on the list, so I won't. But if I was sort of having a free-for-all where I wasn't sticking to restricted items, I would definitely just be putting a little bit of script detail in there. So I'm just adding that gold and just trying to pick up the edges, and I am liking this. And now it's funny because I went for white because I wanted a soft, pretty look, and I was sort of half tempted to go black to try and create a real metallic feel. And obviously I would have got a much stronger metallic feel if I had gone black, which I'm pretty sure Dawn's going to have gone black. I'm going to have to go over at 6 o'clock tonight and find out. But I've still actually managed to create, I've still got a very, very metallic-y looking project, even though I didn't go down that route. So I've been able to create a sort of soft, pretty metallic look as well. I'm going to just try and put this down so it's like I'm almost creating like a bronze spoon, as it were. I'm just going to try and just dry brush that in a little bit. Yeah. I'm liking how this is working. Okay. I'm happy. So yeah, I didn't quite know what was going to become of this project and how I was going to proceed with this project, but it's okay actually. It's looking okay. Now, do I want some splatters? I've just got some of my gesso and I have watered it down. Oops, that was a bit, I've watered that down too much. I'm just going to lift that because that's so not the look I'm going for at all. Let's just lift that. Right, I'm just going to get my greens back on there. Oops, don't know what's going on in there. Right. To make that, I was getting a bit carried away because I wanted to make sure it did go nice and drippy, and I've just made it a bit too thin now. So let's just smoosh this down. Try and get it at a consistency that's going to work. Okay. Okay. Oh, nice. And now we'll get some splatters going. That's better. I was wanting sort of splatters, not not big pools of water. I'm liking. Oh, you should see my iPad. It's just beautifully splattered. Right, I am just going to clean up and then show you it without all the clutter. Okay, so that is my finished project just there. A little altered mini piece of art. So thank you to the lovely Dawn for putting that challenge together. Don't forget to pop over to Dawn's channel to see what she did with her goodies. And we will be back. It is now the 2nd Saturday in July. We will be back on the 4th Saturday of July at 6 o'clock with something completely different. So look forward to seeing you then. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I'll be back again very soon. Okay, take care then. Bye.